Laghari Namgyal Dolkar is in fact joining us now live on the broadcast. Thank you very much for speaking with NewsX today. How do you react to news coming in now of these meetings that the Dalai Lama is planning? What do you believe is on the agenda of these meetings?
Well, Uday, you must have perhaps seen the live telecast of a long life ceremony offered today to His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, where he again mentioned that he is doing very well physically, that he intends to continue to be determined in his service for the Tibetan people, Buddha Dharma, and the international community. In fact, he mentioned the sentient beings. So we're looking into His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, who is very healthy. So before chasing the elephant in the room, I think it's important for us to clarify that His Holiness, we intend, because today when we had the ceremony, we very clearly, the Tibetans, we are in terms of mood in the Tibetan community, it's very cheerful, celebratory, where we are hoping that when we are celebrating His Holiness's 100th birthday, it will happen at the Potala Palace in Lhasa. So as you can see, the Tibetan community, we are determined that the Tibetan freedom movement can find a resolution while His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama is alive and very much with us. So this is the first thing that the community, the international community needs to know about this. Apart from that, if we are indeed to speak about this matter, as Major General Dwivedi mentioned, that China, over this nation that does not believe in any form of religion, an atheist communist regime, dictatorial regime, it has never failed in pursuit of control and power to use any design. In fact, they have in past used Tibetan Buddhist religion as a tool to control the Tibetan world. We're looking into Chinese Communist Party's Order Number 5, as it was mentioned, where they have decided that they will be able to control the living Buddhas. So they've done that in the past. You have clearly mentioned about Panchen Lama, his reincarnation, who was recognized by Chinese Communist Party and is clearly used by Chinese Communist Party to extend its power as a puppet. While we have known very clearly in the past that His Holiness has mentioned very clearly that he might not reincarnate, but then over the years he has mentioned very clearly that he will reincarnate as per the wish of the people. And as per the wish of the Tibetan community, we have repeatedly requested him that we want His Holiness the 15th Dalai Lama to return to us. Henceforth, over the years, he's been very clear. In fact, as per his recent book, Voice for the Voiceless, he's mentioned that he will be reincarnated as in the free world. So when we say free world, is I think as the optimistic Tibetan community, our version of free world is a free Tibet.
Okay.
Let's clarify that.
Yes.
So if it's not a free Tibet, our hope that it will be a free nation anywhere across the world as per the wish of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama.
Ms. Dolkar, also, how important is it to ensure that this happens timely, this succession plan, so that it's not hijacked by China as they've attempted to do with the Panchen Lama as well, who was appointed by the Dalai Lama earlier?
I think this matter has been addressed by His Holiness several times. He's mentioned that China has got nothing to do with this matter, and it's entirely the reincarnation of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So that means an atheist government that does not believe in religion, he has very sarcastically mentioned that if indeed they are interested in reincarnation, they might perhaps should be interested in recognizing the reincarnation of Mao Zedong, perhaps, before considering the reincarnation of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So because of that fact, His Holiness has over times mentioned that this is a topic that shall be discussed with the High Lamas, and with their opinion, their suggestion, it will be entirely the decision of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Henceforth, we're looking into the High Lamas meeting that shall be taking place from the 2nd, that is after 2 days, and it will continue for 3 days, and within the 3 days, we shall be able to find a clear answer from His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. But without going any further, I have been requesting many people that let's allow His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama and his judgment and his experience in diplomacy to decide when he wants to announce this. It does not have to be his 90th birthday, but if he chooses it to be his 90th birthday, let's be it.
Okay, let me also then ask you, Ms. Dolkar, about of course also how the succession works. Let's just clarify that for our viewers, how the succession works, who will sort of announce this, when will it happen, does it happen after, whenever a Dalai Lama passes, does it happen in his lifetime, what is the procedure? Just help our viewers understand.
The concept of rebirth is something that the Asian community, especially in India, it is a concept that we would very clearly understand. But when we are talking about reincarnation, we are talking about a deliberate action of rebirth by one reincarnated Lama, so that he comes back in his form to continue his legacy, to continue the work that he has carried on. So this is how we look into it. But when we are talking about reincarnation as a concept, it is a very personal Tibetan Buddhist tradition that has existed for centuries. And when we are talking about the reincarnation of Dalai Lama, we are talking about since 14th century, we have had the first Dalai Lama, and today we're talking about the 14th Dalai Lama, and he has been repeatedly coming back in different forms, but coming back to serve not just the Tibetan community, not just the Tibetan world, Tibetan politics. Today we're talking about His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama coming back to serve these sentient beings in real terms. We're talking about His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama coming back, sending the messages of love, peace, and compassion, and the religious harmony that perhaps one of the first leader of the world who is being able to openly speak about that. Now we're talking about the message of Nalanda tradition that His Holiness has been very vigorously advocating for over the years. So when we're talking about reincarnation of the 14th Dalai Lama, certainly we hope that it will be a reincarnation who will continue, whether it's a she or he, as clarified, that it will be somebody who will come back in a different form to continue his legacy. Apart from the actual reincarnation, we have heard of a topic called emanation before death. That we call it Magyetugu. It's a practice that has not been really practiced in terms of the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama, but we have had this practice being implemented with other reincarnated Trukus, reincarnated Lamas, where while the Lama is very much alive with us, he would recognize another being as his successor.
Yes.
So we have
and what are we expecting? Are we expecting some formal plan or formal announcement on the 2nd of July? That's his birthday. I think it's his 90th birth anniversary.
The 90th birth anniversary would happen on the 6th of July.
Okay.
However, the meeting that I've mentioned about is a meeting where we'll have the high reincarnated lamas of the Tibetan Buddhism who have already started to gather in Dharamsala, who will very much be in Dharamsala by tomorrow and begin the meeting on the 2nd of the July, where they will come together, because in the past they have had multiple meetings where they have discussed
some sort of announcement on the 6th of July? Do you expect some sort of announcement on the 6th of July?
We hope that there will be, especially in regards to His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama's reincarnation, or any form of basically the succession of the Dalai Lama's institution. But as I mentioned earlier, it is entirely the decision of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama.
Okay, let me in fact leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining us, Laghari Namgyal Dolkar, with your perspective on that story. Let me also bring in our